because of the weight disadvantage.
Dude, can you imagine, bro? You're fighting Canelo Alvarez, man. Nobody ever heard of you. Nobody even knows your name, all that stuff, bro.
But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for...
When there were reports that Terence Crawford would fight Canelo Alvarez, Floyd Mayweather called the fight strong but warned Crawford. Because of the big difference in weight, he stressed that fighting is not a game and told Crawford to be careful before getting into the ring.
And it's a good matchup with those two. You know, may the best man win. But this sport is something that you can't play with. Boxing is something that you can't play with.
Terence Crawford says the fight with Canelo is a big challenge because he likes challenges and wants to show everyone they're wrong. People believe him when he says that no one is that big. Some people say Crawford picked the wrong opponent in Canelo because he is too big, but Crawford is focused on showing that he can handle it.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges, and I love the people that I hear him now. You too little. You know, Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big. Listen, that I can hear it now, and that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay. Let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. And I was like, nah.
There's a reason why weight classes are so important to boxing. People fight in these classes to protect themselves from bigger and stronger opponents who could be dangerous. They are not just there for show. When Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are talked about, one clear problem keeps coming up: the huge difference in their weight. Canelo is strong enough to work out with 168 pounds on him. Boxers and experts are worried that Crawford might not be able to handle this weight increase, even though Crawford has done well in much lower levels.
They have weight divisions for a reason, right or wrong?
Right. Manny Pacquiao, bro.
Okay.
What's your take on Manny?
Well, Pacquiao didn't move up 3 weight divisions at once.
Okay.
Fight a pound for pound fighter.
Okay, so Canelo's got it. How does Canelo get it done?
I don't know, man. It might be the boringest fight ever. It might be the best fight ever. But I will tell you this: it's not a fight I truly care about. Crawford's not really entertaining. So I don't really care about who he fights. But I will tell you like this: he's a tremendous fighter. He's a great fighter, but he's not really entertaining outside the ring. There's nothing that makes me want to be like, I can't wait to see the next Terence Crawford fight.
The people who fight today are also not keeping their thoughts to themselves. Rolly Romero pointed out the huge difference in size between Crawford and Canelo and said in public that weight classes are there for a reason. He even said that Canelo would win based on his looks alone. Floyd Mayweather recently thought about the time he famously beat a young Canelo Alvarez. Even though Canelo won that fight, Mayweather made it clear that he wasn't the same fighter he is now. Since that loss, Canelo has grown into a very dangerous fighter, getting stronger, more mature, and more physically dominant. Even though Canelo was older than Mayweather at the time of their fight, he still knew how strong he could be.
Crazy that, you know, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. You know, I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Mike Tyson, a famous boxer, didn't hold back when he talked about the fight. He thinks Crawford should not fight Canelo and should stick to his plan. Tyson talked about Canelo's strength, his aggressive style, and his ability to wear down opponents with constant pressure. Tyson says that the risk is greater than the gain, and that Crawford might not win this fight.
Mike, I gotta do this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
Yeah, he can do what he wants, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. You know, I don't think, what would he have? I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People have done things crazy like that before. It's just that he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
David Benavidez, who is on the rise, had a more complicated opinion. He said that he would have liked this fight to never happen. Even though he likes both fighters, Benavidez knows that Canelo is the money fight in boxing right now. Everyone wants him. But Crawford's huge weight and high jump make him feel uneasy. He thinks that trying to be the best is a good thing, but it shouldn't hurt safety or fairness.
Crawford throwing his hat in to want to fight Canelo at 168.
I mean, everybody wants to fight Canelo. It's the money fight. You know what I mean? I think even Inoue would come up to fight Canelo. Canelo wanted to fight him. I mean, I don't want to see Crawford to fight Canelo, to be honest with you. But it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a great fight. It'd be a great fight. But I feel like if I deserve my opportunity, and and after this fight, what else are you gonna say? You know what I mean? This is a tough fight. You know, the top WBC, the top people ranked at the WBC are fighting each other. So I mean, it should be an easy call. If I can't get those fights, and I'll go up to fight Bivol, or I'll go try to, I set my conquest on 175. Like I said, I don't want no handouts either. I want to, earn my spots everywhere I go, even at 175. But I see that weight class. I want to become champion at 175, and that's exactly what I'm.
Amir Khan, who has fought Canelo before, gave one of the most serious warnings. Khan admitted that he had been wrong about how important the difference in size was. He said Canelo was a beast and stressed that he learned the reason for weight classes the hard way. He told Crawford something straightforward: watch out as you go.
Canelo's the beast, man. Canelo's the beast. And when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and it happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career there as well. So, whoever I was going to fight, I was going to give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But, I was boxing well. But one thing, size, there's now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like, it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me, when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight, you know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro, remember, but Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight. I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better. You know what I mean? Technical more. Especially against the last fight against Mangui. He boxed really well as well. And he's looking really good. He's still, a lot of people might say, oh, he's getting old, this and another. But no, Canelo's still a beast.
I mean, Eddie Hearn says Dalton's levels above Adam. What do you think?
I think today, Adam proved he is probably on the same level, but in my opinion, both guys want to fight each other just yet.
Chavez, the adult boxing expert, gave a scary point of view. He talked about not being far from Canelo's blows and how scary they sounded, even when they weren't hit full force.
Spaceman Films, what up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo, Crawford?
Yeah, got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
What pays the bill? That's why Canelo's skillful too.
Joe Rogan, who has been calling fights for a long time, emphasized how hard Canelo hit. Rogan wasn't working on his footwork or plan. He was only thinking about Canelo's ability to hurt people.
There's just guys that just have preposterous power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on it. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield that they hold up for hooks?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this, just power. And you see him go, hey, boom. Bro, he hits so hard.
A sports reporter named Stephen A. Smith also didn't hold back. In a live talk, he made it clear that he hated the idea of this fight. Smith thinks Crawford might lose the fight because he is not as strong or as heavy as the other person.
Let me tell you what I think should be going. The notion that Terrence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jamel Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3. And then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
This was what famous Mexican fighter Julio Cesar Chavez said would happen. Crawford will lose this fight if he keeps going. Even though Chavez likes Crawford's skills, he thinks Canelo's 168-pound strength is too much. These words carry a lot of weight because of his many years of knowledge. Sean Garcia was added to the list of people who warned Crawford. That being said, he acknowledged Crawford's boxing skills and stressed that Canelo's physical force may be too much to overcome. Garcia thinks that size and strength may be more important than skill in this fight.
Amir Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terrence Crawford is another, amazing fighter. You gotta give credit when it's due. He's an amazing fighter, he's very talented, and he'll for sure give Canelo a fight, and Canelo knows that. But I feel like Canelo will use, his experience, his weight, and how big he is, and I think he'll overpower Terrence Crawford later.
A boxer promoter named Eddie Hearn gave an interesting point of view by calling it a bizarre bout. He said that the huge difference in weight makes it look more like a stunt than a real fight, even though it would get people's attention. Hearn went on to say that fans might still criticize Crawford if he wins because of the difference in size. If Canelo wins, though, it will be seen as normal.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terrence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him. Yeah.
Joel Diaz, Canelo's trainer, says that one of his best qualities is not only being able to throw hard hits, but also being able to take them from bigger opponents. Diaz says Crawford might have a hard time hurting Canelo in the ring, which could make Canelo weaker during the fight.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terrence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
The fight was called a money grab by Oscar de la Hoya, a former champion who is now a promoter. He talked about boxing past and asked if it made sense from a fighter's point of view. People who were bigger usually lost when a smaller, more experienced attacker fought someone who was much bigger. During a long chat,
William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar, being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it. Yeah.
But Crawford doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime. And so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Stephen A. Smith and reporter Dan Rafael didn't agree with each other. Rafael said that Crawford doesn't do this for a job. He wants to be great. Rachel even admitted that the way to victory would be dangerous, but he still admired Crawford's drive. He told Crawford that in order to have a chance, his plan would have to be perfect, but not everyone is against the idea.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
A famous trainer and researcher named Teddy Atlas is one of the few experts who thinks Crawford really does have a chance. Atlas talked about how smart, tough, and adaptable Crawford was in the ring. He thinks Crawford is the kind of fighter who can change in the middle of a fight and won't give up, either mentally or physically. Atlas thinks that Crawford is someone who can beat the odds.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter. Then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
The fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is one of the most talked about hypothetical events in modern boxing. In one way, if Crawford beats the chances, it could be a great moment in history. But because of the difference in size and strength, a disaster could happen.
Tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. A unified champion that he's been. All of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
The video for today is now over. Watch out. Until then.